We started with AI, and now we turn to one of the fastest growing forces in advertising today, and that is influencer marketing. Okay? It thrives on authenticity and connection, but it also walks a fine line. When does influence inspire, and when does it mislead? Where does accountability come in? To better understand, let's first watch this video.
Influencer marketing is booming. By 2029, it's projected to take almost 80% of brand spend. But in a world of likes and follows, where does influence end and accountability begin? At its best, influencer marketing is authentic, transparent, and powerful. At its worst, it misleads, overclaims, and breaks trust. Now, the question is, how do we keep influencer marketing responsible without losing what makes it so effective? Welcome to the conversation on responsible influencer marketing.
Joining us today are members of our final panel, Digital Director of Unilab and the founding president of the Creator Influencer Council of the Philippines and faculty member at UANP. Let's all welcome Mr. Jim Guzman. Next, we have the EO and co-founder of consultancy agency Link Strategies and also a founding member and current treasurer of the Creator Influencer Council of the Philippines. Let us all welcome Miss Cara Santiago Dagdag. Next, we have former RX 93.1 and Magic 89.9 radio host, professional voice talent, event host, and content creator. Please welcome Mr. Gino Quillamor. Next, we have digital creator, influencer, actor, and scriptwriter, known famously as Davao Conyo. Let's all welcome Mr. Philip Hernandez. Hello. Okay, so welcome to our new and final set of panelists. No? Thank you for making time to be with us today to talk about influencer marketing. Okay, so we think this is going to be a lively discussion kasi to set the stage, just allow me to share the global guidelines for influencer marketing. Audience, we'd like to ask you to please scan the QR code to enter your questions once again. And viewers, write your questions in the comments section and these will be tackled after the discussion. All right? So at this point, let me walk you through the key principles for responsible influencer marketing. Yata nakatayo ako, no? Bakit ako nakaupo? Anyway. All right, kasi meron nga palang slides. All right. Okay, so to ensure responsible influencer marketing, brands should consider following these 5 principles. The first principle is to be transparent. Influencer marketing communications should be designed and presented in a way that the audience immediately identifies it as advertising and is aware of the promotional nature of the content. Next is to be authentic. Influencers should be honest when making claims and giving endorsements. All objective claims should be truthful and supported by suitable evidence. And material information should not be misleadingly omitted. Third, be responsible. Brands and influencers should consider the social impact of their influencer marketing content, avoiding harmful or offensive material. Where possible, content should be respectful of all audiences, avoiding harmful stereotypes. Number 4, make it tailored. Influencers and their content should be suitable for the product or service being advertised. Brands should not work with influencers with a large youth following when advertising age-inappropriate products. Okay, I think that's a no-brainer, no? And finally, the last principle is to be compliant. Influencer marketing must adhere to all relevant advertising laws and regulations to avoid being in breach of law and to maintain ethical standards. And with that, we see that these 5 principles, transparent, authentic, responsible, tailored, and compliant, serve as our guide in making influencer marketing both effective and ethical. Okay, so at this point, I'd like to invite each panelist to share with us their perspectives on influencer marketing. Let's begin with Mr. Jim Guzman.
Okay. Do I have to go there, ma'am? Or I can just sit here na lang? Or
Whichever you're comfortable with.
Yeah, okay. Actually, well, first of all, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having us, Robbie, Miss Digna, and the entire ASC team. No, side lang before I share my thoughts on those 5 things, the principles. When we were putting this section together, when we were selecting Philip, Gino, and Cara, parang sabi namin, I think we need to put people who can best share their thoughts as representatives of their different segments or sub-segments in this industry where we are all part of. Actually, kami ni Gino dito yung nakikita ko mag-share ng POV ng mas nakakatanda. Because Gino...
Wait lang.
Dadamay na
Hindi ako nag-agree dito.
Well, don't listen to him. It's Your Honor.
This was not part of our script.
Okay. Sige. Going back, dalawa lang. No, because both of us have witnessed the shift from traditional to digital. As you know, Gino has been on radio for 50 years. Dalawa lang. For a long time, makikita mo kasi nung naglalakad na siya, unlike 20 years ago, lahat nagpapapicture sa kanya. Ngayon, bilang na lang, si Gino yan ah. No, but kidding aside, and I've been in the agency side for more than 10 years also before I moved to client side or to the brand side. And then Cara here, whom I've been working since after you graduated. But wala na eh, nasa makabagong era ka na eh. When you started doing PR, meron ka na. And of course, all of you know Philip, whom I am fortunate to have worked with. Hindi pa siya Manila Conyo, Davao Conyo, kasi si Philip lives here na. But anyway, so I hope the different perspectives will be appreciated by our audience. So going to the question, I think when I first saw those 5 key principles, come to think of it, it's the same set of principles that we've been working or operating with. Even the time when I was working with bloggers. Kakahiya, di ba? Yung mga uso pa sila Animetric, sila Rowena Lay. Do you guys remember Nofnang, Chirp Chirp? Di ba? Before yung influencer marketing lang, you get Chirp Chirp. You pay them how much per chirp? And then that's it. Di ba? And then you have bloggers in your set writing articles about you. Yun lang ang influencer marketing eh. And now we are dabbling into different content formats, content executions, a Davao Conyo type of execution versus a Justin Luzares or whatnot. No? I think transparency, authenticity, responsibility, and tailored, those are the same kind of principles that we've been operating with over the years. I think yung pinakabago dito that I think more and more we need to emphasize and as an industry, really pay close attention to is compliance. And I believe that's the reason why we're all here, because we need to bury the belief that ASE is a pain in the ass. Sorry for the word.
Yes.
And I address not just brands and agencies, but even creators. Because these guidelines are meant to to guide us on how to properly deliver great creative or content for our viewers, may it be a TikTok content or a static post or whatnot. So yeah, I think it's really compliant, where ako personally would really want to focus more, hopefully, in this conversation, because that's something that I think as an industry we need to work together and ensure we get to follow more and more. Cara?
Hi. Thank you, Jim. I think on that note, on compliance, no, I entered the influencer marketing space when clients didn't have budget for it, when we didn't have agencies for it, when people did not know what and why they would need to pay for a Facebook post or an Instagram post. The audiences that were on those platforms were not as huge as the audiences that consume the content today. So I think that's where the disconnect happens when some agencies, or let's say creators, say, why do I need to be regulated? It's my opinion, etc. Especially when you're coming from, it's my personal page, it's social media, it's my opinion. But 10 years, 12 years ago, our audiences weren't in the millions. Our views weren't in the billions even. And when you consume content on your devices, it wasn't as rampant. We would still buy magazines. 15 years ago, I would compile photos and send it to my media friends and ask them to publish post-event. Ngayon, during the event, my photos. So I think on that compliance and contextualization is very important. For my fellow agency friends here, no? And especially for the clients also, influencer marketing now is a real branch of your marketing funnel. Versus before, na it used to be, by the way, or if may extra ka lang, or, uy, ganda, may sikat dito sa event ko, pampaganda. Beautiful people, we all know that. But now, as we use it as part of how we promote our brand, how we grow our brand, we need to think of it as we are being regulated, or we are doing this self-regulation so that we can future-proof influencer marketing. So, there.
Next, we have Gino.
Okay. First off, I apologize beforehand. I'm used to hosting, not getting asked questions. But yeah, just to build on what Jim was saying earlier, essentially, I think, and I hate to admit it, it carbon dates me. But yeah, I'm one of those fortunate enough to have started in a broadcast standpoint. So therefore, even before we had the power of the microphone, we had the KBP bearing down on us. We had our bosses telling us, here are the boundaries that you should not cross. You can tiptoe on it, but don't cross it. You know what I mean? So we had those regulations that kept us in place. I think one of the biggest challenges now is, and when I entered radio, I was like 20-something. By the way, Robbie Joseph is here, who trained me as a college DJ. So Robbie, hello, I just wanted to say. Anyway, sorry, ADHD. I started, I think, 21, 22, something to that effect. And essentially, I already had a blueprint of what was right and wrong. Nowadays, you have content creators who are starting at like 12, 11, maybe 13 years old, who don't really have that built-in moral compass just yet. And there's no governing body that tells them, yo, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do. And like what you said earlier also, before you even got a platform, you had to go through rigorous training. You had to have several people who have been there decades before you to tell you, like, okay, these are the things you can and can't do. Nowadays, all it takes is one good video, and you get like millions and millions of views. So essentially, you hand over a megaphone to somebody who has never held a megaphone before. And now, we can't even verify if the information that is coming from this person is authentic, correct, if it's even valid, accurate. And I think that's the scary part. Of course, there are pros and cons to it, like everything else. Sometimes you get the most unfiltered, the most brilliant things that you can hear off on the internet because nobody tells them what to do. That's the pro. But the con is, yun nga, again, you need some form of, again, like what is being said here, na you have to comply to something. And I think that is the tricky part of influencer marketing now, because there are so many people out there. And how many people will say like, like what you said, I started out this page on my own. It's a personal thing. You shouldn't care about my opinion. But that only works when you're only getting like, I don't know, 5 views. And even with 5 views, you're already influencing 5 people. You might not know it, but subliminally there is a message that is getting implanted. If I tell you something like, this X burger is good, I bet you somebody here tonight will probably be like, you know what? I want a burger. And not because I said it directly to you, but because I just mentioned burger. So I think that is what you have to, I guess, watch out for in terms of like influencer marketing.
And now we go to Philip.
Yes. Sir, kinakabahan ako.
Ikaw pa yung kinabahan.
Bakit?
Sa aming lahat.
Hindi, pero ilang times ako nakaapak ng stage. Pero
Ay.
parang first time siya all the time.
Ngayon ka pa kinabahan. Kung kailan kanina may fans ka dyan.
Sorry.
Ano ba?
Hindi, napapayag lang talaga ako kasi gusto kong sumipsip sa ELC talaga.
Okay.
Hindi, pero, hello guys. Content creation, thank you.
Ang daming fans.
Siya pa yung kinabahan.
Oo nga. Siya pa
Ang
yung
bilis ng
kinabahan.
heartbeat ko talaga. Hindi, content creation, kampi ako sa content creation because I benefit from it. And influencer marketing. Siguro, in short lang, I'm just very happy that content creation is here and influencer marketing, because just to sound off from what Sir Gino said,
Sir.
sorry, Ma'am Gino. Ma'am Gino.
Oy.
And then, just to sound off from what Gino
Buti
said,
nga hindi Tito Gino.
Alright, okay na. Sige, let's take sir. Sorry.
parang mas madaling nabigyan ng platform ang lahat. Parang before kasi ako, yung dati, I've always, bakit ako nag-start ng English? Dati pa, alam ko talaga.
Oo, okay lang.
Dati
Kahit
pa, alam ko
Tagalog,
na talaga na
yun,
gusto
go.
mag-storytell. Pero kasi ang dami kong biases na hindi naman ako kamukha ng ganitong artista. Wala naman akong friend na may ganitong agency with mainstream celebrity. So, ang daming nagsa-stop sa akin na paano ako sisikat. Pero because of the internet, because of content creation, I realized na pwede naman pala na hindi ganun kaganda yung background. Pwede naman pala na manukan or mga sampayan. As long, as long, which is nami-miss ko na kasi walang ganun sa VGC. Wow.
Wow.
Check. Which is parang ang akin lang is there's space for everyone. Dati kasi is kailangan ganito yung itsura mo, dapat ganito yung, alam mo yun, may standard.
Yeah, oo.
Ngayon kasi is you can talk about slimes, you can talk about random like super niche things, and there's an audience for it.
Parang the internet broke the mold.
Yes.
And parang everyone can be a content creator.
That's true.
Yun lang, it's a matter, yung parang the caveat there is, there has to be, self-regulation,
That's
obviously.
true. Actually, kanina ma'am, nung pinakita niyo yung parang yung transparency,
Yes,
authenticity,
guidelines.
hindi ko din na-realize na ganun pala ako as a content creator. Ngayon ko lang siya nga no, kasi I think at the end of the day, basta may konsensya ka lang. Parang, yun yung guiding light ko, parang may konsensya ka lang, alam mo yun. Pero nung minention ka siya kanina, doon ko lang din na-appreciate yung craft ko na, oo nga, no, parang hindi pala siya ganun kadali because these are the things that you have to consider in a sea of content.
Oo. Hindi, kasi initially, when you start creating content, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, pero siguro content creation was born out of the pandemic. Because, we were just, nakakulong tayo sa bahay, tapos we had nothing better to do, so why not make a video? Why not make, why not make, yung coffee video?
Dalgona coffee.
Dalgona coffee
Ube
video.
cheese roll.
Oo, di ba? Yung mga ganon. So, I would imagine you guys were born out of the pandemic. That you
Very
decided
nice
Ako,
of you to say
ma'am.
that we were born out of the pandemic.
Yes,
Thank you.
that's why you decided to create content. But I'm just curious, no? How did it just occur? Did it just occur to you na one day you just woke up? Okay, I think I want to create some content online. Yung ganon, or was it carefully planned? Did you carefully plan for it, or did it just happen by accident? You're into Instagram.
Yes, because I'm very old.
Instagram din
Instagram
ako.
ka din.
Yes.
Okay.
Oo, meron din naman akong Instagram account. Oo, active
Yun yung
din ako
bias sa
doon.
Instagram.
Yeah, so you're into Instagram and then you became famous through Instagram.
Ma'am, I'm not, it's Philip who's
Si Philip.
Yeah, among us four, Miss Pinky, si Philip tsaka si Gino yung mas into
I'm barely
content
there. It's
creation.
really
Content
him.
creation.
Pero si Miss Cara.
agency.
Maganda
so
lang
I,
Oh,
siya, ma'am.
agency pala. Okay, okay.
Akala
Maganda
ko
lang.
ma'am influence.
Oy, why not, 'di ba? You can also be a content creator even if you're in the agency or ano, 'di ba?
I help brands like Jim
There you go.
connect to
There you
Cara is
influencers and
influential
creators.
in our industry.
Oo, there you go. Oh, so yeah. So my question apparently will be directed to Gino and Philip, no? So did it just happen at random, or did you plan for it, or did you have this sudden realization that you can do something like that?
I think we'll have very different experiences with this because I really started out in traditional media. So I started out at the time before Instagram. Sino nakakaalala ng MIRC dito? Meron pa ba? Wala.
MIRC.
Chat, Yahoo Messenger.
Ayan,
That was
I see
Sorry.
hands raised there.
that was my
There you go.
generation. So we're one of the my generation is at that cusp of we grew up without cell phones and then they threw the Nokias at us, and you know what I mean. And then we eventually graduated into other things. But my content creation, my journey at least with it was, it really was. I was in radio for a really long time. At least I felt like I was a really long time. And then we just started making really dumb videos online while we were in the booth. And then, but I've always had, I guess it stems from the want/need to entertain. I mean, if
Yes,
you're in
yes, I
FM
get
radio,
that, I
you know what
get
I mean?
that.
Like you want to put on a good show, and ultimately, I know it sounds cheesy, but you just want to make people laugh, and I think that's why I started getting into content creation also. And lo and behold, may pera pala, so okay siya. So parang, yeah, I guess that's why I started pursuing it also. Not nearly as successful, not even close.
Yes, Philip.
But I'm happy with where I'm at. I like my little community. I like that, you know, I don't get super like scattered all over because it scares me because I'm a millennial and like, you know, I'm still introverted deep down inside. But yeah, it wasn't I wasn't a natural content creator. It wasn't something I was born into. It was something that I adjusted to. But mostly because yun nga, I started out with traditional media. You, on the other hand, you really started out with it, diba?
Ano yung question? So,
I just-
sobrang
He got lost.
na-engross ako.
Thank you
Anyway,
for that
hindi.
wonderful
Kasi,
question.
Kung paano
actually,
nagsimula?
to respond muna to Gino's insights, no? Actually, I guess humor. You can't go wrong with humor, eh. Di ba?
As long
If
as you're
you
not hurting anyone in the
Yeah,
process.
I mean, wholesome humor especially, no? Minsan ako, I find myself scrolling through mga reels. Tapos talagang minsan, lalo mo, pag natatawa talaga ako, 100 beses ko siyang piniplay.
Diba?
Kasi sobrang tawan-tawa ko. And each time, malakas din ang tawa ko. Alam mo yon, hindi nagbabago kasi talagang nakakatawa siya. And it's like, you know, it's parang it releases endorphins ba? The happy hormone. And syempre, you know, that can beat cancer or whatever, no? Can beat health issues kasi pag tawa ka na tawa or wag ka naman yung tumawa yung parang nag-iisa ka lang tapos baka mukha ka ng baliw. Oo, pero yun na nga, parang it doesn't help, you know? It doesn't help. It doesn't harm, you know? Laughing at some reels every now and then just to ease off the stress, right?
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
fun when you're scrolling in the toilet and then something funny comes up, like, and you're there for like an hour. Yeah, that's.
That happens to me a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, Philip, yon. Ang tanong kasi natin, parang, did you do that at random lang? Yung bigla na lang nangyari? Parang, kasi si Gino parang, I just wanted to create something funny.
Yeah.
What about you? How did you start as a content creator?
Ano siguro, passion ko talaga yung storytelling, ma'am. Parang dati kahit nung sa school pa, mahilig ako magsulat ng script for group presentations, but not necessarily ako yung main actor. I just like writing for someone else. Kasi hard to believe I'm an introvert. I'm not so used to like people looking at me na marami. Like ganito, I'm very uncomfortable, right? Kaya hindi ako nakatingin sa inyo, sorry. Ay, tsaka angle ko yon ha. So, yun. Tapos siguro, may mga influence din sa akin sila Lloyd Cadena, yung mga early starters, sila Ryan Higa, ito yung mga YouTubers before, na sabi ko nga, sila yung nag-open ng eyes ko na pwede ka palang mag-share ng stories mo, pwede ka pala maging celebrity without going through ABS or GMA, ganon. Kasi ako, especially for me, na taga Davao ako, di ba? So Manila is malayo. So sila yung, kung kaya nilang gawin, kaya ko din. So I started because I want to. Yung strategy at saka yung business aspect ng content creation, it came after. So I just really started because I wanted to. Tapos nung na-realize ko na I can make money out of it, na parang brands are approaching me, doon ko lang na-realize na, okay, I could make this long term. Hindi na siya laro-laro lang. Hindi siya parang something that I do just because I want to make my friends laugh. This could actually be a work for me. So yun.
Although you didn't expect that it would come to that point, right?
I kinda did.
You did? Oy, di
Hindi
ba?
kasi, to be
Alam na niya
fair,
yung potential niya.
Diba, it's okay to think highly of yourself. Siguro lang talaga, at nung simula lang talaga, alam ko lang talaga, kasi everything that I do, I really try my best na mahal ko yung trabaho ko. This is, sobrang corny nito pakinggan, pero I could proudly say na hindi lahat ng content ko online did super well, pero masasabi ko na lahat ng yon is may pagmamahal. Hindi ko siya nilabas just because I'm required to. So, siguro yun. So, siguro, to answer the question, I kind of felt na it will go the right way because I feel like sa simula pa lang, yung intention ko is gusto ko maging amazing yung work ko. If that makes sense.
So may passion
In my
na
own little
agad.
way.
May passion na agad.
Passion ko kasi talaga ang storytelling.
Oo. Wonderful.
Backstabber kasi ako eh, charis. So mahilig ako bawa ng
Backstabber,
kwento.
sabay ganun.
Charing, hindi. Hindi, passion ko talaga storytelling. Laking TV ako eh. Laking Roderick Paulate, laking Vic Soto, laking Michael V, Cinema One, ABS, GMA. Yun yung mga influence ko talaga na ano. Kaya siguro mas natitweak ko yung humor ko ngayon kasi napagdaanan ko yung humor na, sorry for the term, medyo problematic humor hanggang sa naging politically correct humor.
Right.
Parang napagdaanan ko yung lahat. So parang mas easy for me to
Navigate. Yes, there you go.
Navigate, yes.
Sorry medyo natatawa ako kasi nakikita ko si Robbie Aligada pumapalakpak.
Sir Robbie, you're so funny.
Number
Ang
one
funny ni
fan.
Sir Robbie.
Number
Oo
one
nga eh.
fan
Huwag ka
right there.
mag-content creator, mawawalan ako ng work.
Aliw na aliw siya, Tuwan-tuwa
Thank you so
siya.
much.
Okay, so, well, I'm happy for both of you. Kasi at least, you're able to entertain and at the same time, benefit from it kahit papano, no? And of course, enjoy your passion more than anything else, right? Okay, so I'd like to direct this question to Jim and Ms. Cara, no? From the advertising and advertising agency point of view, what are your prime considerations in collaborating with influencers apart from their social media engagement? Kasi di ba, syempre, ang prime consideration nyo is the number of followers, right? The more the followers, the better. Kasi ibig sabihin malaki ang engagement nila, you stand to benefit from that also. But what are your other considerations?
I think before, yung basic, when influencer marketing started, basic yung following. Kasi you want to replace your other media touchpoints with the reach of the creators you tap. So in replacements, for example, to amplifying a banner ad, you get Philip with millions of followers and make it an alternative touchpoint to deliver your message. So yun yung pinaka-basic. But as years go by, the criteria is also becoming more and more complicated because you have a lot of factors to consider. Like for example, in the way we do digital marketing in my team is with me in table number 2. Hi guys. We pay close attention not just on reach but even on effectiveness and efficiency. Less na nga ako in efficiency kasi most often than not, easy tick box na lang yun eh. Like when you do influencer marketing versus your traditional platforms, it appears cheaper when you compare investments, production and media versus traditional.
All right.
But from an effectiveness standpoint, we don't talk about views or reach anymore. We look at view-through rates, click-through rates, because those are proofs of that we were able to deliver our message to our audience.
Right.
So di na kami, say for example, nadadala ng, this got 5 million views. But if you look at the data, only on the 5th second, nag-drop na majority of the viewers.
Really?
Kasi, parang what's your proof that you were able to deliver your message if you communicated your message on the 20th second? That's a problem. So I think more and more effectiveness, and my team hates me every day, we're always looking at, okay, if we get ganito, how do we make sure that we will get our viewers to the branded part so that at least we deliver our message. So that is very important right now. In all fairness to Philip, that's why personally, I met this guy like more than 5 years ago, even before he became Davao Conyo. If not one of he's the only creator right now I can confidently say can take his viewers up to the last 25% of his video.
Wow.
Kasi tayo, pag pinapanood natin siya, alam niyang magbebenta siya. Pero papanoorin natin kasi natutuwa tayong hulaan ano yung reveal sa dulo. Di ba? Di ba? Si Robby gumagano. Di ba? No, but and not everyone can do it. Trust me. But I will not name names. A lot of creators right now, most of them are expensive, cannot even take us on the 5th second.
Okay.
So that's where you challenge them. How do they do their content better? So apart from that, siguro very quickly na lang, we look at, there are a lot of factors to consider also. Their reputation, their footprints. So we now have the most advanced tools, not just our team, but even all agencies and brands right now, to really crawl at your feeds and check if were you involved in a scandal? Did you ever say a bad word or curse someone in your feed? We can even track if you are being associated to someone who was talked about negatively on social media. We look at so many things because at the end of the day, we don't want to work with someone that will put our brands in a bad light. Lalo na for us because Unilab, we're medicines. So we are a highly regulated category. Paulit-ulit yan. Pinapaalala sa akin ni Miss Digna and ni Robby. So all the more you need to make sure that, everything you put out there, times 10 yung monitoring. No? So I guess those. I'm sure Cara can add more because every time we work together, on the first presentation, even on the second, I never approve any influencer on her list. Just because dumadaan siya talaga ng madugong proseso. Yon. Cara, you might want to add more.
So I think to add to that, the agency's role now is to make sure that we meet the brand's objectives. So you do the reach-based or follower-based if you just want awareness. But now there are many different funnels to consider. So if you want more sales, then you get affiliates on TikTok. If you want more education, then maybe you can get people with less than 10,000 followers, but they are industry experts. So if you're choosing the right influencer for your brand, it's also the agency's duty to make sure that the talents that you get for each campaign would match the campaign from start to finish. So it's not always, how we do it at Link, my partner is here, Nicole. Before, so 5 years ago maybe, we would do the same scope of work for all 100 influencers that are part of the campaign. We used to do that, right? But now it's more of what are the objectives of the brand, and then we divide the influencers or the talents. So 10 will talk about the education part, 50 people will sell it. We get 20 micros to reach the Gen Z market. So it's more of being creative and personalizing the campaign, not just for the brand's benefit, but also for the creator's benefit. So we want to get creators not because they want to earn a quick buck. They want to get the project kasi sayang yung pera, sayang yung project.
right.
But it's also our job to make sure that they're already natural users or natural advocates of that brand that we're approaching them with. So actually, sometimes I shift it to not influencer marketing anymore, but like advocacy marketing.
Nice.
So you choose those real advocates so that you maintain the trust of both audiences, both brand's audience and the creator's audience.
Speaking, I'll add a bit lang on what Cara
Please.
said. Kasi right now, which is good, we're more and more strategic in terms of building our influencer set for campaigns. Is your campaign meant for awareness? There's a set of influencers or creators for awareness. Is it consideration? There's a different set. Consideration, mas micro. But I think TikTok, less than a year ago, rock the industry because they can now claim that we can do full funnel. So from awareness down to to conversion because of the yellow basket.
Right.
And I'm sure more and more. Right now, I think there's an ongoing event of YouTube also about YouTube shopping naman. So from an awareness video down to converting your customers down the platform. So I guess that's how little by little things become more complex. But there's more thinking now in terms of tapping or selecting influencers for your campaign. It's not like literally just checking, ito kilala ko ba to, hindi ko ba to kilala, mabait ba to, hindi. It goes through a rigorous process.
Oh, okay. Wow. Interesting. Okay, so now that we know your prime considerations for collaborating with influencers, or at least choosing the influencers you would like to collaborate with, I just have a curious question, ano? Was there ever a time when an advertiser actually contracted the services of an influencer or collaborated with an influencer, not necessarily because he or she was well-liked, but rather more because he or she was highly controversial? Controversial enough for the advertiser to put premium on his or her notoriety. I'm just curious. Was there ever a time that happened?
It happens.
Okay.
Not in Unilab, unfortunately, because I think as a family-owned company, we're medyo
Strict.
careful and strict pa when it
Yes, of
comes to
course,
that.
of course.
But I will never forget that campaign done by BPI when Christopher Lau went viral because remember that guy who said nung binaha yung kotse niya, hindi ako na-inform. Di ba? Hindi ako na-inform. Hindi daw siya na-inform na baha doon. So, tumuloy siya.
Okay.
So, nag-viral siya kasi parang, hindi ka na-inform, kita mo, baha. Abogado pa siya. So, siya. Like, he had to move to Hong Kong for a year or two to hide.
Yes, of course.
Until an opportunity came in, I was still on the agency side. The agency reached out together with the brand and asked, are you open to come back and redeem yourself and be part of a campaign for our auto loan product?
Okay,
So,
okay.
nangyayari siya, Miss Pinky. And it's not always the ideal scenario, but if you discover the sweet spot and the right opportunity, pwede.
Oo nga
But
naman.
be careful.
Oo. Right. So, they sort of turned it around and made it something positive. Oo, because of that incident. Pwede naman din palang happily ever after yung ending ng collaboration nila. Okay, kasi ako parang I've always wondered meron kayang advertiser na kumuha or nag-collaborate with a very controversial figure or content creator. Kasi syempre, 'di ba, more often than not, we'd like to collaborate with content creators that will make our brand look good. 'Di ba? Yung malinis at saka mabango ang reputation. So, meron din palang nangyayaring ganun. But I'm happy to know that the BPI was able to, the advertiser and the agency, they were able to cook something up that would make it come out as positive.
Correct,
Diba?
yes. I think that crosses the line of advocacy marketing because the intent there is not just to, of course, there's a business side of it.
Right.
But it was a spot-on opportunity to turn that uneventful thing that happened to something, to an opportunity for him to regain his,
Yes.
his confidence,
Oo nga
his
naman.
reputation. Now he works for the government as a lawyer. From what the last time I
Wonderful.
heard. Yeah.
Oo. Oh, that's good. At least it worked well for him, for both, no? Oo. Okay, so now I'd like to direct my question to the influencers. Okay? So, how did you feel about having to practice self-regulation? I know, si Gino, alam ko yan kasi, syempre, KBP, di ba? Broadcaster ka
test
eh.
that you had to do.
Exactly. So you're familiar with self-regulation. You're not a stranger to that. But what about Philip? How did you feel the first time you realized that kailangan ka palang dumaan sa ASC?
Yes. Naalala ko talaga, ma'am, nung first time kong na-encounter yung ASC problems, doon ko talaga na-feel. Sorry, kaya ako tumingin sa kanya to make sure kung
First
tama ba yung
time
term na
naman.
yun.
Oo, di ba?
Sabi
May
nga, di
okay
ba-
lang ba magamit yung term na yun?
Authenticity.
We're all adults here. Wow. Sabi ko lang. Hindi, naalala ko talaga na parang may slight feeling sa akin na, damn, parang katapusan na ng career ko. If ever magtuloy-tuloy to sa jackpot round. Hindi kasi parang, kasi of course, dati kasi, mas madali for me. Na, hindi ko alam, nag-start kasi ako sa, how would I use the term? Pero yung parang hindi masyado regulated, yung parang hinahayaan ka lang ng brand. Hanggang sa siguro no lumalaki na yung pangalan mo, ganun, or mas nakikilala ka na, mas nababantayan ka na, and mas kailangan siyang idaan sa mga yes. So, nahirapan ako nung time na yun. And na-mention ko naman po dati sa call natin na parang may time sa life ko na parang na-demonize talaga ang ASC. Na parang, meron kayong poster sa kwarto ko, dinadart ka. Just kidding. I'm a joker. So, joke lang yun.
Tawa ni Robbie, oh, lakas, oh. Alaka.
Close naman kami ni Sir Robbie, so safe ako. Charis. Hindi, pero ano talaga, alam ng manager ko yan na may time talaga na, ASC ba yung brand na yan? Kasi parang I have to mentally prepare myself. Up until, wala rin kasi akong choice. Kasi if I really want to bloom in this field, I really have to keep up with the times. I can't be that
course.
person kasi na, hindi na pwede. So, gusto ko dun sa luma. Ayokong mag-move forward. Ako din nalugi dun. Siyempre na din. So, natuto din ako, and na-mention ko rin to, na little by little, hindi ko na-realize na parang na-ingrain na siya sa utak ko to the point na pag nagsisend kami ng video sa Viber chat sa mga brands, kami na mismo ni Chance nagsasabi na, pwede pa double check ng mga superlatives, pwede pa double check ng
Oh,
mga
di ba?
Kasi
Yan
pag
naman.
kasi pag
Wonderful.
pag pina-delete ng brand yung video, ulitin ko na naman. So,
Kasi, syempre, nung una, di ba, parang you feared, being stifled, di ba? Parang ang feeling mo, nasa stifle yung creativity mo because of all the
Yes.
regulations.
Yes.
But then, eventually, you were able to adapt.
Pero to be fair naman, ma'am, yung nababaril ako ng ASC, hindi naman sa concept ko. It's really more of the claims and the So, yun lang. Natuto na rin kami. Na,
Tsaka hindi ba
double check.
nabanggit mo na, ay ano kaya, kung mag-apply ako sa ASC.
Oo. Yun talaga yung retirement plan ko, mag-ASC.
O di ba? Ganyan ka-love niya ang ASC.
Kasi kung may mga artista na may billboard, kung taga-ASC ka, lahat ng billboard may ASC. So, alam mo yon, so winner ka doon. Lahat may
Di ba?
ASC, bro.
Parang ibig sabihin, oy, may kinalaman ako dyan kasi ASC ako. O, di ba?
Hindi, pero kidding aside, nagigets ko rin naman where ASC is coming from. Nagigets ko na yung to protect
course.
fairness. Minsan lang talaga may struggle slide. Dito yung camera, paiyak ako dito. Pero naman, happy din naman ako na, yun nga, may nagre-regulate. And if tatanungin ako, if I'm willing to learn more about yung rules and regulations, of course, gusto ko rin.
Which is good eh. It's a good thing that the ASC has already regulated yung mga content creation kasi it's practically putting order into the chaos. Kasi 'di ba nowadays anyone can be a content creator. And of course, nung una syempre wala pang self-regulation, parang ang mindset ng content creators, I can do whatever I want. I can show whatever I want, Never mind if it's offending, never mind if it, steps on anyone's toes. But at least with the ASC, kahit papano, mas na-temper na siya. And yun nga, ang magandang effect nun sa'yo, parang mindful ka na. Di ba?
And meron naman yung parang handbook na nada-download sa internet.
Yes.
Pero sana may version na mas yung may mga colors, charis.
May images.
May mga image, may mga
Ayan
activities,
na.
tsaka. Hindi
May
kasi ang
pop-up.
haba niya, ang haba niya talaga. So kahit gusto ko i-learn lahat, parang Diyos ko, anong page pa ako.
I-suggest mo.
So learning by doing na lang talaga ako. Pag sinabi
I-suggest
na, uy,
mo-
bawal yan, okay, noted.
Di ba, Philip, pinag-usapan nga natin nung Zoom natin.
Ay,
I-upload
maganda
mo
yun.
sa ChatGPT.
Oo, maganda yun.
Sabi naman ni attorney, kung publicly available yung
Yes.
document, pwede. So upload mo doon, tanong mo si ChatGPT, nag-violate ba?
Or better yet, gumawa ka ng video para yun na lang yung papanoorin ng lahat.
Yun.
Diba? On behalf of the ASC.
Okay.
At saka parang inuman lang na topic ko. Tapos Pero maganda yun, at least.
Ay, nako. Yan, pag-usapan ninyo mamaya,
Yeah,
mag-meeting kayo ni
sana.
Sir Robbie.
Oo. Para mas ma-educate yung mga content creators.
At this point, thank you, Philip. At this point, we have questions from those online, no? Courtesy of Vivox, no? This one's from Franklin. How did your content change when you achieved substantial metrics on social media? Did you feel a bigger sense of social responsibility as somebody who has a platform? I guess that question is directed to both of you.
Yeah, again, kind of, it stayed the same, I guess, because again, like what I mentioned earlier, I started out in traditional media, so I already knew what I kind of had to do. Plus, I married somebody who worked in agency, client, and is now in platform, so she always polices everything I do. She'll always just be like, that's too bastos, or, you know what, that's offensive, or, so I always have that voice in the back of my mind, sometimes on my ear, telling me what I can and can't do. So I guess the regulation part was easy. In terms of, I guess, being responsible online, I just carried pretty much what I used to do into how things are for social media, at least for me. Because I don't think I have your responsibility with the
I think it's the same.
millions, you know what I mean? Like, I would be so scared to hit like numbers like that. Like,
Yes,
I feel like somebody would get offended somehow.
sa akin?
Oo.
Parang so far wala naman. Thank you, Lord.
Steady ka lang.
Ba't sila natatawa?
Hindi, so far wala naman. Sa totoo lang kasi as much as I want to give an answer na sobrang may moral lesson, pero kasi hindi din sobrang hirap sa akin mag-adjust or iba. Ano yung question kanina na substantial metric?
Parang, ayan.
Bigger sense of social responsibility. Hindi ako masyado nahihirapan i-apply yun kasi I've always been responsible. Na parang, before pa dumating ang ESC, nandiyan yung nanay ko. So parang siya yung parang, like,
Siya yung konsyensya mo.
yes, siya yung
Oo
konsensya ko.
nga.
When I upload something online, parang, hindi to magugustuhan ng nanay ko na joke. Alam mo yun, tapos sobrang obedient ko kasi as a son. So, kasi di ba pag bading ka talaga, wala kang choice kundi maging obedient. Parang yun yung pampalakas mo sa parents mo. So, ako yung pinaka-obedient sa household namin talaga. Para lang hindi mahalata na bading ako. Anyway, nag-trauma dump na rin. Hindi, pero going back, gets ko yung responsibility mo. May one time talaga na nag-let go kami ni Chance ng isang brand. Hindi ko na i-mention kung sino. Pero, and thankful pa rin ako sa brand na yun kasi naiintindihan nila yung reasoning namin. Pero, without going into details, ang explanation ko lang sa kanya is, natatakot ako na if maging issue to working with you, madadamay lahat ng ibang brands na nagtitiwala sa akin. So it's not just about me taking, kasi sabi nila na, just take the risk for us, kasi kami lang naman to. Pero hindi because if you're carrying or working with a lot of brands, you're already representing all these brands. It's not just you and this brand.
Oo nga naman.
So kawawa din, madadamay din yung ibang brand. So we really have to let it go by
Yes.
else.
Wow, more brownie points for Philip.
Thank you. You really have to be mindful, ma'am, kung ano yung ano. Wow, inattempt pa na maging moral lesson, pero wala, yun yung ending na ano ko.
Maniniwala na ako
You have to
sana
be
kasi
mindful.
seryoso ka nung una eh.
Hindi, pero yun talaga, ayoko talaga mapahiya sa audience ko. I think yun talaga yung guiding light ko, yung audience ko. Na,
Yes, kasi of course, at the end of the day, you have to be grateful to them because
Of
it's
course.
because of them that you are where you are.
yes, of
Diba?
course. Thank
Okay,
you, guys.
so this one comes from Trisha Lazaro. Sabi niya, what is your advice to marketing people in terms of how to best balance the influencer's authenticity and making sure they still get the right message points across? I had some experiences with influencers who refuse to incorporate comments in their content to their point of losing authenticity. But in the course of maintaining authenticity, the product or brand messaging gets watered down. How to best balance this? I would love to hear all points of view of our panelists. So this is for all of you. Sure, Miss Cara.
So to Trisha, I think what's important, especially now that more and more brands, if not all, have influencer marketing in their planning. Choosing the influencers requires discussion. So a practice that we do is we ask our brand partners to have a discussion with the content creators even before closing the deal. So I think for instances like this where they refuse to incorporate comments, nawawala yung brand, I think mga ganitong bagay na pag-uusapan bago pa kayo mag-sign, bago pa mag-close. So a lot of a more recent campaign that we worked on last month is client from Singapore. So they don't really know the rules here, the ASC guidelines. Ma'am, brief namin sila.
Talaga?
So it's a lot of facts, and then the influencers that we were working on were moms with kids. So that's another layer. Before we even started the campaign and closed it, we had a dialogue one-on-one per influencer. The brand explains, the influencers explains. So both parties now know the limitations of each. And then we also let them know the limitations of the Philippines, so what our regulations are. This is very time-consuming. Sometimes brands would say, oh, kara kayo na bahala. So that's something that we do also internally, and it requires time. It takes time, but based on experience, the past year, we've had smooth campaigns because of it. Brand is happy, at least you start with a common ground. I think dun kaka-problema when the expectations come in sa gitna na. Parang hindi mo naman sinabi kailangan palang may picture or may logo in the first 3 seconds.
That's right.
So, pag sinabi mo yun kay Philip, automatically sasabihin ni Chens, sorry, hindi namin tatanggapin. So, it's a lot of dialogue, very manual, things you can't do with AI. But a very important process, I believe, for marketers to do.
Okay. What about Jim?
I'll give a different perspective on this. May not directly answer the question, but coming from working in creative agencies the past years, get obsessed with ideas. Diba? And kasi oftentimes, ang nagiging practice is, I want to work with Davao Conyo, I'll get Davao Conyo, bahala na anong gagawin ko. And then you end up coming up with mediocre work or something that you force to do with him, but it's not really for him.
Right.
Right? And kaya that's the role of agencies. Kaya mali yung sinasabi nila na in this age of influencer marketing that you can collaborate with creators, wala nang role yung ahensya. I disagree. Kasi the agencies can help you in terms of taking you towards that idea. That can be the jump-off point of the creators on what they can do using their following and platforms.
Right.
And ako lagi ko sinasabi, saan ka nakakita ng pelikula na nauna yung artista bago yung storya? Unahin mo yung storya. So
Oo
you would
nga
know
naman.
who are the right characters you will cast in the movie. Right? Kasi otherwise, if it's the other way around, you will force Piolo Pascual to appear in a movie that it's not for him. That's not for him, di ba? So again, I guess if you think that way, if you get obsessed with big ideas or content ideas, then hindi dapat magiging mahirap to check authenticity, to check the delivery of the message, and even down to performance. I think it will all have a domino effect. Ako, that's just based from experience. That has been a working formula in terms of getting into a really great... So by the time we speak to Philip or to other creators, we know what they will do. We know their role in the plan.
Right, right.
So that's their jump-off point in thinking of, gagawa ako ng video in a drugstore or in a pharmacy na ganito yung role ko.
Sino kaya ang babagay doon?
Oh, yes.
Tama. Tailor fit, in other words, no? Oo.
I think it goes both ways also. So when brands approach creators and make them do something that they haven't done, in the same way, creators should also be able to be comfortable enough to say na that's something that I don't do or it's something I don't use, so that the industry is more transparent and smooth and responsible. I think yun.
Oo. Tsaka siguro one last thing, I think right now, the currency now in content creation is the content that essentially that's what we pay for. So we pay Philip for a video. Diba? That's the currency. I guess work with influencers. Work with creators more than influencers because that's the currency now of the industry. I think not a lot of influencers today can really create good content. And we're fortunate that these two people we have with us now can really do that.
And I guess siguro, di ba, yung there is such a thing as content creators with a niche. Di ba? May niche sila. Yung parang hindi sila basta-basta pwedeng i-feature sa ganitong viral ad because they're of a different niche. Di ba? That's possible. Okay. What about our influencers? What can you say about Trisha's question?
I think for me, I've been lucky enough to work with people who have always just opened things up for discussion. And that's one of the things that I really love about it, is because there are so many times when like I will have a really, I believe, a creative idea, but it's unhinged. And then you get, agency or client telling you like, okay, I like your idea, but let's tone it down a little bit. And then I'll resist a little bit and be like, no, if kunwari, it's 100% crazy, they'll be like, no, let's bring it down to 50. And then I'll be like, no, 65. And then they're gonna be like, you know what? Let's settle with like 63%. You know what I mean? That it's that back and forth. Yes, it takes a lot of time, but ultimately I think it's what leads to the best possible output without compromising on both sides. So whether you're speaking from agency perspective, client perspective, creator's perspective, everybody's there was a term that I heard before, like from a negotiation, nobody is supposed to walk away completely happy. Everybody should just be all right. You know what I mean? Because if one person is happy, then that means there was no negotiation that happened in the first place. So I feel like to some degree, creation should be like that. Now you have, yun nga, again, certain guidelines, and you try your best to wait, I was going to use a term that I shouldn't be using. To stay as close to the edge as possible of that boundary, so that you don't feel inhibited as a creator also, and you feel like you still let loose your creative juices in a sense.
But what if you're under time pressure, for instance, you have a deadline and
Which
things
happens
don't
quite
get
often.
resolved as fast as you would want it to be resolved. So what happens next?
Make time. I mean, that's it. Like, I guess we all, I'm sure everybody here has had to work with deadlines that they weren't necessarily like, oh, you know what, 3 days from now is great. That's perfect. No, I mean, nobody's like, so, voila, you make do with the time that you have, and you try to find that best common ground. Again, I don't think it'll be perfect, but I think it's the closest you'll ever get to having both sides satisfied in the conversation.
Right.
That's why discussion is important before even going into the campaign. Because you can lock in an influencer, but the influencer has a 1-month trip, let's say. So
Right.
you can create content there if the content needs to be created here. Or brand says, I need it in 2 weeks. And creator says, I have branded
Swamped
posts.
for like 2 weeks, yeah.
Exactly. So
Right.
Yeah, I think to answer your question, ma'am, sometimes we explore different creative processes.
Yes.
I think I'm fortunate that now in my role in Unilab, I get to bring with me my experience on the agency side. So I know for a fact, say for example, Cara, in this meeting, let's just do tissue idea session. Right? I don't want to see storyboards. Let's just write it in 1/4 sheet of paper. Ganun ako ka-manual. Post-it mo. Then let's see, let's take it from there. And from all we know, baka we can land at a good idea and then we focus on that.
Right.
So I think that's when timings is a challenge.
Yes.
That's when you reinvent or kind of challenge the creative process. Kasi, and I think something I'd like to tell everyone, and hopefully we get to accept, especially how things are more and more complex when it comes to influencer marketing, hindi siya yung pinakamabilis gawin. I think that has
true.
always been the perception.
Oo.
I cannot do my TV. Mag-influencer marketing na lang tayo. It takes time, ah. Especially that 1 month on ASC. Dalawa. I mean, di ba, truth be told, it takes time, sometimes even close to your production timings for TV or for an activation. So what's important really is when you design your engagement plan, among your different touch points, which do you prioritize first? And influencer marketing may or may not be part of it.
tama.
And that just you design the entire experience.
At saka kasi the production process takes time eh. Di ba? Kasi like you do several takes of a shot or a reel or a footage. And then you choose from those shots and then you just edit everything. Di ba? And that takes time. So I can imagine that. I mean, I'm a voiceover artist and I edit my own stuff. So it takes time talaga.
Yes.
Kasi if you want quality work, if you want to submit quality work, I mean, who wants to submit haphazardly done work? Of course you don't, right? So, if you want to submit quality work, you really have to work at it. You have to make time. Di ba? And it's, well, of course, compromise is very important. You know, you have to talk about it and you have to be honest enough. Okay, I can have it ready for you in this, ano, di ba? Basta give a time frame. Don't tell them to just wait. Di ba? Kasi syempre, di ba, I mean, it's so, let's be fair to everyone concerned, you know? It's ano, we can always meet halfway, right? Okay. Para everybody happy, of course. Philip, what about you?
Ma'am Trisha, no? I really try my best na mag middle ground for the brand, myself, and the audience. But I'm very transparent talaga na when I write, it's really for my audience. So I've already discussed this with Baus sa isang podcast. Na my writing process is when I'm given a brief from a brand, I read it, I skim through it, ano yung mga keywords, and then I forget about it, and then I write something for the audience without considering the brand. So finish ko muna yung story for the audience, and then if it's hinog na, if it's done, that's when I find a way on how to interject the brand. And I always do that because I always want, nasa simula pa lang ng writing process, yung audience na yung kinonsider ko, hindi yung brand.
Okay.
Minake sure ko muna na yung audience yung magiging masaya. Badly put, na kahit tanggalin ko yung branded part, maiintindihan pa rin ng audience, makaka-relate pa rin sila. And siguro that's why a lot of people, they appreciate my sponsored videos is because nafe-feel nila na there is something for them in that video, even if, let's say, they're not interested to buy the product.
Right.
Or if it's not something that they use. Pero they still, they took something out of the video pa rin by watching it.
Yes.
So siguro yun talaga yung strategy ko. And that's what I always try to explain sa brands na between the three of us, the audience, me, and the brand, I am the best person to know kung paano ko ma-deliver yung message nyo papunta sa audience ko. Kasi ako yung middleman eh. So, I'm the best person to know kung paano ko sila kausapin. So, parang kumbaga tiwala na lang sa akin. So, sa brands naman, I promise na hindi ko gagalawin yung keywords, hindi ko gagalawin kung paano nila gusto i-deliver, kung ano yung visuals na gusto nila, susundin ko naman yon. Pero on how I would do that, concept-wise, akin na yon. Ayun.
Okay.
Tapos, yeah.
Speaking of trust, kasi na-mention mo yung element of trust, ano? How do influencers or content creators maintain trust with their audience while also meeting brand requirements and self-regulatory guidelines?
Sorry, medyo complicated yun.
Oh, sige, sorry naman. Mahaba ba masyado yung tanong ko? Okay. How do you, as content creators, maintain trust with your audiences? Okay?
Okay.
And at the same time, meet brand requirements and self-regulatory guidelines?
For me, planting seeds talaga siya, ma'am. Masasabi ko na medyo swerte ako kasi nasa phase na ako ng content creation career ko. Like what Sir Jim said kanina na people actually look forward kung ano yung branded bit ng video ko or kung ano yung gusto nila hulaan yung ads. So nasasabi kong swerte ako kasi I'm at an advantage sa part na yon na kahit makita ng mga audience na may ASC number sa baba or may ASC sa baba ng caption, hindi sila mata-turn off kasi na-build ko na yung, na-mention din ni Ma'am Cara David kanina na parang, ano ba yan, Jollibee pala sa gitna ng video, ganon. Kasi nagulat daw siya. Pero alam niyang ad kasi may sponsored video, ganon. Oo. So, siguro swerte ako sa part na yun. If it was before, if hindi pa ganun yung mindset ng audience ko, siguro ako yung magsasabi na pwede ba walang ASC number? Pwede ba? Kasi ayoko malaman ng tao na ano siya, sponsored video. So siguro yun. Honestly speaking, yun nga, mas na-afford ko yung, sige, ilagay natin yung ASC number, mga ganun. Kaya nga sana request ko ngayon, ma'am, is...
May request sa akin.
Kung pwede wala na
Nasa table 4.
Kaya pala nandito
Pwede
sa
ba sa
panel.
Kaya naman
May
makikiusap
request.
sana ako, Charis.
Huwag akong tignan mo, si Robbie, ang tignan mo.
Hindi, pero to be fair naman, if there's something positive out of it, gusto ko na dahan-dahan ma-train yung audience na hindi lahat ng branded video is killjoy. Hindi
Oo
lahat
nga
ng branded
naman.
video is a waste of time. Hindi lahat
Right.
ng branded video is swipe up worthy. And kahit hindi pa kami madami ang gumagawa nun, at least makita ng iba. Kasi kahit ako naman kung saan ako ngayon, dahil naman nakita ko rin to from other creators before. So hopefully maging ano din, well, hero. Hindi, hopefully maging kumbaga maging I'll be that person din ba na ma-realize na iba na kung kaya niya, pwede ko rin gawin. Na kung tinatapos ng ibang tao yung video niya kahit sponsored, pwede ko rin gawin. I just have to figure something out kung paano ko gagawin different sa kanya.
Right. Oo. Hindi, tsaka naman, in fairness, less intrusive naman din kasi yung ginagawa, yung collaboration ng advertisers with content creators. Kasi, di ba, swabe yung pasok eh. Hindi
At saka,
naman
ma'am,
kasi biglang ipa-flash sa screen. Di ba? At least yon parang disimulado. Di ba? Simple.
For me din kasi ma'am, mas iba kasi yung effort pag content creator ka tapos gumawa ka ng branded content versus commercial. Kasi pag commercial kasi, ipapalabas sa TV, wala kang choice. Yan yung time slot mo. Pag nanonood ka ng teleserye, may commercial gap, you're forced to watch all through the commercials to wait for na bumalik yung show mo.
Actually, strategy yun. Programming strategy yun eh.
Exactly. Pero kasi, yung people, kami, yung nanonood sa amin sa social media, mas may power kasi sila. Kahit kung hindi nila gusto, swipe up ka agad. Kaya kaya doon ako nanggagaling kaya ko talaga, a lot of my brain power napupunta talaga sa concept kung paano pasayin muna yung audience ko.
Oh, which is
Kasi
a good
first few
point.
seconds, swipe up ka agad, hindi ako makarelate to pangit. Or feeling ko papuntang add to swipe. So, alam mo, doon ako nanggagaling.
Well, that's a valid point. That's a valid point. Okay, so we're down to our last two questions, and I'm gonna pick the ones from Vivox, no? First is from Casey. Can there really be...
Gino, what's your skincare routine?
Uy, ikaw naman,
Hindi,
ini-empt
kailangan
yung
mo yan.
question. Unahin muna natin si Casey.
Sagutin kita mamaya, Juan.
Can there really be authenticity
Got
when
you.
money is on the table?
Okay, I don't really tell this story much to anyone, but back in a couple of years back, I won't mention who, there was an offer for us to post about a certain political figure, and it was a lot of money. I turned it down because of my principles. I'm lucky enough to be able to turn it down because I know that I come from a place of privilege. I didn't need the money that much. Now that I have 3 kids, I definitely need it. Tuition season is a pain in the... but yeah, like, ultimately, yes, there can be authenticity when money is on the table. I'm lucky that I can practice that. I can't say that for everyone because obviously people will have different needs. People will have different, morals. But for me, there is that. And yeah, so I can be authentic. But I think one of the things that I really liked about what I do so far is I get to choose who I want to work with. You know what I mean? And it has happened before that I've, endorsed or posted about products that I haven't tried before they approached me. But one of the things that I always tell them is, okay, make me like it. You know what I mean? Like, sell me on it, in a sense. And then when I try it, and then I figure out that it's something that I actually like, then I'll work with the brand. But ultimately, yes, I think there can be authenticity. Maybe not for everyone, but, again, lucky enough to be able to practice it.
Okay, I'm gonna rephrase that question to Philip, pero it's the same question, no? Kasi naalala ko, nag-usap kami ni Robbie kagabi. Sige, gawin nating Malaboy Abunda type. Okay? Mamili ka. Truth or survival? Truth
or
survival?
Without context, to.
Yun nga yung context niya. Yung question na yon, iniba ko lang.
Truth or survival?
Ginawa ko lang Malaboy Abunda ang tanong ko.
Survival?
Truth or survival?
Survival nga. Kasi does that mean na kung truth, parang patay ako or something?
Hindi.
Oh, kasi survival eh. Essentially, di ba? If you
Hindi, ibig sabihin, pag sinabing, would you
promote mo
rather,
yung brand namin
would
or
you
dates
rather
ka?
be authentic?
Okay, sorry. Sorry. Wait, recorded ba to? Ngayon ko lang nag-get, sorry.
Naka-live ka ngayon.
Would you,
Sorry, akala ko parang candid lang ng mga lights on,
sorry
lights off, mga
naman.
ganun. Sorry. Boy,
gusto lang,
na kasi ang sabi.
hindi, gusto lang namin ni Robbie medyo
Truth or
maging
survival?
magpaka-boy abunda ang dating. So
Truth
there.
or survival?
Parang nag-backfire sa atin.
Oo nga eh, sorry, ngayon ko lang nag-gets. Truth.
Okay,
Oh,
truth.
truth.
Okay.
Hindi kasi coming din, to be honest din, 'cause, sabi din ni Sir Gino kanina, I'd be honest na hindi naman ako yung parang desperate talaga na mabuhay. Alam mo yun. I love, pangit din pakinggan yun. Pero, oh my God, para makakancel ako after this. Ano ba itong mga ganitong question? Wait lang. Hindi, pero for me, truth. Yun na lang.
Hindi, actually, ano naman siya eh, related naman siya sa mga sagot mo previously.
Yeah, pero hindi madali,
Consistent
hindi
naman.
mahirap sa akin to go for truth. Kasi at the end of the day, hindi mo kayang bayaran ng peace of mind talaga. Yun yung sa akin.
Actually.
Na-experience ko ng oh my God, nakabawi ako.
Good answer. Good answer.
Pero kasi na-try ko na-experience ko na mabash, na-experience ko ng may death threats yung family ko because of a certain issue na
Really?
I dealt with before. Na-realize ko talaga na none of this is worth it. At the end of the day, peace of mind pa rin talaga.
Na-redeem mo yung sarili mo.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're down to the last question and it's for Gino. What's your skincare routine, bro?
Ang ganda nga
Bro.
pala. Nakikita ko dito kasi mas
Parang
malapit
ang
ako.
tanong niya, what's your
It is
skincare routine, bro?
Quite simple. It's whatever my wife doesn't use. So pag meron na siyang mga lumang stuff na binibigay niya sa akin. Currently, it's Laneige. Parang
Oh my
social,
God.
di ba? Hindi ko bibilin yun kasi mahal siya eh.
Sasabihin ko nga, I was gonna say that, isn't that expensive?
Pero it's I don't know what it's called eh. Basta parang when you press it, dalawa yung lumalabas at the same time. Yes. Yung parang...
Parang
oo,
moisture-
parang...
Moisturizer?
Basta yun. Tapos wala. I just wash my face honestly with soap. Which
Triple serum.
which you're supposed to use like a nice facial wash. But I use soap. Like,
What's the brand again?
the first one, Laneige. But that's my
Laneige.
wife's.
Oo,
She's the
Laneige.
one who knows.
Alam ko sa Rustans ko nakikita yan.
Kasi dati ano lang eh.
Yeah.
Ano yun? You know that blotting paper that we used to use?
Okay.
Yes, the Gatsby one and then may Clean and Clear or something. That was the most vain, quote-unquote, in my head that I ever got, which was in college nung nangliligaw pa ako. Pero ngayon nakasal na ako. Parang okay, sige, whatever you give me. Goods na tayo.
Gusto ko yung sinagot mo talaga.
Okay. Tinanong eh.
Shinare talaga
Isn't
yun,
that
no?
why we're in the
Tama
panel?
naman,
We're supposed
tama
to
naman.
answer the questions, right?
Tama naman.
Yan ang authenticity, di ba?
Anyway,
Okay,
before, since it's the last question, no, I'd like to take this opportunity also to give a shout out to our Creator and Influencer Council of the Philippines, who have been working closely with ASC, not just in events like this, but even in reviewing the code, inputting on the code, trying to see how we can create a better environment, not just for brands and agencies, but creators as well. So to all of you here who are either on the brand side or the agency side or the creator side, please do check out CICP and see how you can not just learn from it, but even contribute to this growing industry that we all have a responsibility to do. So our president is there, Gel Directo, and I think I see Jaco De Leon here and there, our former president, for CICP. So thank you so much.
And thank you. And to the person who asked about Gino's skincare routine, it's Laneige, bro. Okay? All right. So, wow, that was such a fun exchange. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves as much as we did. Palakpakan po natin sila. Thank you very, very much for being
Thank
with
you, Ms.
us.
Pinky.
Thank you so
And
much.
Thank
I
you
have
for
to say-
listening.
Yeah, I have to say that we learned so much from all of you. At the same time, we had so much fun. It was such a blast. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, so now, can we please move forward for the photo opportunity?